Hey, welcome back. All right. I think we're up to session 6 today. And today is session 6, just like in session 3 when you made the Bauhaus poster. Today we're going to do something different. You're going to stretch your Illustrator wings. You've learned more and more each time we've been doing this. And so it is a bit of a freedom project. Not freedom, there's a lot of setup for you, but that's what today is going to be about. So it's Portfolio Builder 1, and you did Portfolio Builder 1 was the Bauhaus poster. Portfolio Builder 2 is going to be what's called a dust jacket, and it's going to be a dust jacket for a very specific book, Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I will go through this today. I will tell you what a dust jacket is. I'll open the file. I'll help you get started. I will tell you all the things you should know how to do and give you tricks and tips for creating something. So you're not like, well, I don't know what to do. It'll be, the whole idea is like, step back, and before you jump in, think first. And that's what we do with all design in general is somebody gives us a project and they were hired to do a flyer for a company. I sit down, I meet the client, they tell me what they want. The first thing I do isn't just start designing the flyer. I start to think about, and then I'm going to look up stuff. And I'm going to get a background of information before I'm just like look at a blank design page and start thinking, well, what should I do? That's how you should go about this. And why? It actually makes things quicker. You may think, well, if I just started designing, I'd just get it done. Well, but if you go into it and actually have a blueprint, quote unquote, a blueprint or a sketch of what you want to do, it'll actually speed things up. And then working with those sketches and trying to get your ideas down quickly first, then you just have to worry about the Illustrator part later. So it will make it far, far easier. So what, pray tell, is a dust jacket? I have examples down below, but I'll show you. Here. There you go. I don't know how to spell. Images. So the dust jacket is the part that goes around a hardcover book. And they slip off, you can take them off, they get destroyed over time. But if you ever had a hardcover book and it's got that slippery piece of paper on it, that is called a dust jacket. And the dust jacket consists of 5 different panels, it's called. So if I look at this one, the 5 different panels, it's an inside, front, the front cover, the spine, the back cover, and the back inside wrap. Not hard. A lot of these are generally filled, as you can see from these examples, which is why it's good to look for examples of these, so you're not just thinking like, well, I don't know what to do. If you've never seen one before, you should look up what one looks like. And like I said, I have examples at the bottom, just a few, to kind of get you looking at things. You know, there's some crazy ones, some simpler ones, all over the place. But you should look and start to explore, like, what is a dust jacket? What's on it? The dust jacket is to gain. When somebody goes to Barnes and Noble and they pull out that book, you know, like it's the ad for the book. And what do they see first? It's always the spine because the books are lined up unless it's on display. And then you see the front cover and then that's laying down. So there's information. So there's 5 small panels. Let's say they're small. And let's open this up. The dust jacket file has been supplied for you. So you don't have to do anything. This is just click on this. We're going to download it. And I'm going to walk you through this, but I'm going to again, talk you through the process of like, don't just jump into this. We're gonna sketch it out. We got to see what you want because there's parameters. Now I've included a ton of stuff. I have all the text for you. I have the name of the book. I have inside copy for the front flap, the back cover. So you have a lot of text. I want you to not just be like, oh, well, put that in, and I'm done. Yay. No, okay. That's if you don't want to be a designer. If you do want to be a designer, then you're just going to take this as placeholder and you're going to find the fonts. You're going to find everything that you want to really make it good. Now, like I said, I have information for the back flap, which is information about Ray Bradbury. I have quotes about the book for the back of it. I have the title, and then I have a little synopsis, and that's the front flap. That's generally what happens. We have the little Simon & Schuster logo, and I have a UPC symbol as well. So right here. Don't you keep those as is. They're there as a helper. You don't need to move them. Don't delete them. What are they there for? They should be there. I put them in there for you. I also have a picture of Ray. He should probably go on there somewhere. Get a picture of Ray Bradbury, the guy who wrote the book. And you can choose. Do you want the person on the back flap, back cover, front flap? I don't know. Look around. Like I said, look at some books. You can look at dust jackets online. Kind of figure out what you want. But I'm giving you all of the technical stuff, and I want you to do the fun stuff, which is mainly just the graphics and some of the typesetting. Now, for the typesetting, you guys have been doing this from day one. It's either you have been working with the both type projects that I give you every week, explorations and challenges. You know how to move a word around in an area text. You know how to figure out how to change the type for point text. Area text, again, is when it's a paragraph or more, and that allows you to typeset. And when it's point text, that's usually done for titles or one or two words in which you want to like kind of manipulate it and have some fun. Now, let's kind of go through. We can look for fonts. A fun place to go for fonts is a place called Da Font. There's other out there. I have to get more. And it's literally DAFONT. And you go here, and they have all sorts of different types to go through. You could be here forever. It's so much fun. And you just kind of look like you pick a horror, and they have all these fonts. And you can just download them and install them. We've been doing that already. I've included fonts for you in the past, but you just simply download, double click on the downloaded file, and it will install it into your computer. So if you want something cool for the name of the book and the name of the book only, I would dig around Da Font, DAFONT.com. Play around, look around, see what's out there, see what fits what's in your mind when you want to design this book cover for the book Fahrenheit 451. And again, you can use inspiration from the web. Dig around, look at what other people have done. And say like, oh, I see that generally on the cover, it's always the name of the book and the author. I should make sure that that is on the front cover. Like then you look at some other ones and, I've got stuff set for you. This one, the whole back cover is a picture of Ray. And in other ones, it may not be a full picture. Here, it's a partial picture. Or you could, if you have some books at home, look at those dust jackets. Maybe the picture's somewhere else. But again, we'll get to that. Like some of those things are the things we want to think about before we start jumping in designing. How do I want stuff? Look for examples. Look out there. Now, we know what this looks like. And it's a small flap, back cover, front cover. Mind when we're working, always mind the margin. Don't have important stuff like words go past the margins, the pink. That's bad. The reason being is this curves around a book. So this space in here shouldn't be used because it's on the edge. Nobody will see it. When you hold a book, when you fold it. So just like those big gaps, I want to make sure there's no text ever in those big gaps. So mind those margins, something new. Make sure the text on the spine is running this way. If you want it to run down, it's just the way, if you look at a book, every book is that way. That's why I put it that way, to help you out. Now, Fahrenheit 451 is this future sort of book about book burning and knowledge. So it has to do a lot about, like, that's the main thing. They go around and they have book burnings, and they have the firemen, as we know firemen, are the reverse. The firemen in this book go and start fires. They go and burn the books. People are hiding books. They take them and they burn them. So it's a lot about fire and burning. So start to think about that. Maybe read the little excerpt that is in the Illustrator file. Now, before you get any further, you should start, you do some research, look around the internet for a little bit, look up Fahrenheit 451. There is a movie. I'm not saying you got to watch the movie, but then come up with some ideas. And when we come up with ideas, as I always like to do, just quickly draw them out. I draw a rectangle, and I know I have the spine, or not the spine, the flaps, the covers, and the spine. And then, so where do we go from there? So one, I could just be like, oh, first, I'm going to draw a square, and this is him, and I want the text underneath. And then in this cover, and the front flap, we'll have the text. Maybe I'd like a little image there and some more text. I'm just making stuff up. The spine, this is the title of the book, right? And then I need the front cover. Got to think about that. And then the back is a lot of quotes. So maybe I'll just do like a lot of quotes, but I may want something up here. Now, in the assignment, and this is the part I want you to think about. In the assignment, it states, where's the assignment? Too many windows open. You need to include 3 images must be included in the design. And when I say images, I want you to come up with 3 vector images. Now I have some suggestions here. Of course, there's a firefighter, firefighting gear, book, flames, a matchbook. You know, you'd be a lighter. These are just ideas. A salamander. Salamander is used in this. The salamander represents, people used to say a salamander could like withstand forest fires. So they're like they're fireproof. I got that little down there. So you need to include 3 little images. And I'm not talking big, like, I'm not expecting you to go all out and be like, illustrate this whole thing. But you can, you know, think about some items. I just thought, you know, like really quickly, and I have to look this up. Like, I think they're like kind of curved like this. Wink. And then it would have a flame. You know, it's like, so there's like a Zippo lighter. So if I wanted to, just really quickly, I could be like, oh, on one of the, you know, I want a Zippo lighter. And I want it there, and I might have the title up here, Fahrenheit 451. And I got a lighter there, and then maybe on the back, I have something like a firefighter's helmet, and then, you know, the salamander. I don't know. I'll put that at the bottom. But like here, by doing this, I know what I want to do without monkeying around too much. And I could keep going. Like, I'll come up with another one. And like, what if I want to change my idea? So like, that was a little short, like a little goofy. I'm going to draw a longer one. I got the spine, or the flaps, the flap, and the spine. Then, you know, like, oh, maybe I want, you know, the title, and then I want 451. And this is just, I know that's the title. And I'm gonna have the title here. And then I want like, I don't know, fire hydrant. And I might go back and like, I'm gonna look at stuff. Like I want a fire hydrant and then like a hose or something, you know, and it's shooting the water over here, and then I have my quotes. I'm just making stuff up. So I'd have the fire hydrant with the hose, 1, 2, and then on the back, maybe that lighter idea comes up again, or a book of matches, you know. And then on my quotes, picture array, and just some line. And again, this is just so once I then want to design, I can get started. Now, the other thing to do is you're like, oh, I have to make like drawings of things. I have to draw things. I want you to do it just like we've been doing in class. Every time I give you those projects, you're tracing something I did. I want you to trace stuff. And it's that easy. I'll do something complicated here. I'm going to find a picture of a salmon. And this is what you're going to do. And this is how, like, everybody does this. It's not cheating. Like, trace. You don't have to, like, try to figure it out yourself. Images. Let's do that first. Oh, this guy. All right. I found a picture of a salamander. I'm going to save that picture. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to save image as, and I'm going to save it to my desktop. Save. I just saved an image of a salamander. All right. Now, I'm going to open my Illustrator file, and I'm going to not be on the page, and I'm going to go to my illustrations layer, and I'm going to go to File, Place, and I got my salamander. And then if I needed to, I can lock that. I go to Object, Lock, Selection. Now I can't move it. All right? I can't move it. It's stuck. Can't do anything. Now I just learned the blob brush. And so I could take the blob brush and just, you know, start to trace it. And just go around, you know, like all I'm doing is tracing. And then you go around. And they're like, you know, because this is organic. So I'm just going to trace this guy. And I'm using the blob brush just like we taught. And I can get it really organic and cool piece. And then, you know, fill it all in. And then I can go, and that was black. And then I go and I'm going to change it to yellow. And then I'm going to add the dots, you know, like that was supposed to be yellow. And then I add dots to my salamander. But like, and you're like, why salamander? It's in the book. But then you can go through and you can do that. Like, and this was so quick, but I want to show, because this is organic and you don't want to watch me trace the salamander, but this is all you're going to do. So if you like wanted something organic like that, or I would, you know, everything. I don't assume you know what something looks like. Use a reference, a book of matches. And you find like a cool one. Oh, look at that. You know, you find the perfect one. This is cool. Oh, because I can add a flame to that one. And then I go save image as. Save it. And then I'm just going to trace it. Because I can. And that's what we do. File, place. Zoom in. And this is pen tool, or this is rectangle. Oh, this is going to be difficult, right? Oh, I'm going to pull a guide and I'm going to do something weird. So I don't have to work on an angle. Let's get most of those straight up and down, right? And it's just rectangles. Break it down into little pieces. This is rectangles. So if I object, lock, selection, and I'm going to start with a rectangle. And then I'm going to change the color of that so you can see it better. I don't know if that helped at all. I want to change this. I want to have it, I'll do it black, stroke, none. And then I can zoom in. All right. And so it's a little bit skewed. Well, I'll take that direct select tool and I can start to move the pieces I want. And then it's another rectangle, and we're going to have to, you know, move some stuff in front and behind. And I'm just going to grab that corner and make it to that corner. And it can be and then this is, I can even click with that eyedrop tool on the color of the photo. And then go object, arrange, send it back. Oh, that went behind the image. That's fine. And then for the matchstick, I probably only have to draw one. It goes to this color. So I want you to just like simplify the way you look or think about it. You spend some time on this. This is a rounded ball, right?
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to change the size of the text?
Yeah. Yeah, you could change the size of the text to fit it however you need to.
Now, are you allowed to delete parts of text or no?
No.
Okay.
The client wants all that text on there. So then, you know, I got a little match there, and then I turn it red. Get that one. Is that the color? If I group those, object group, now it's that. And actually, I'm going to object ungroup. I want to bring these two rectangles to the front, so it's in front. I want that flat line. Object, arrange, bring to front, and then I'm going to group it. Object, group. And now I have like a match. And then I just need more matches. And I want you to notice something. I'm not putting an outline on anything. We don't need it. And then we just kind of, these go down, and I'm just making more and more of them. And for this one, twist it. And then if I take off object unlock all, and I move this, oops, and I grab these two things and go object, arrange, bring to front. And then I'm just going to clean it up a bit. Maybe move that one down, maybe make sure they're all behind. You can kind of like offset some a little bit. People get the idea. And then I just need the background, which is, it's over here. But I can now use that pen tool, which is also the other awesome tool to use. And I'm just going to trace around what I see. All right. I'm going to make that. I need to send it to back. That's going to go here. Object, arrange, send to back. And there I have a very simple set of matches. I implore you to make sure you just trace something. You got a fireman's helmet? Don't guess at what it looks like. Because it's so funny. It's just like this teeniest thing. If like you make it up out of your head, like you have to be a really good. If you're an illustrator, I'd be like, yeah, go for it. I mean, look at this. Look at these. Wooden matches. You know, like this is like hilarious right there. Like that's a box of matches, but like what? Okay. Save my guess. Oh no, I want to, no, cancel. Save image as. Save. Oh, why am I going through all this work for match? Well, I want the proportions correct. So you can do that thing again. I go file, place, got that, place. These are like a perfect proportion. So why do it myself when I can just draw a rectangle, spin it, copy that wood color exactly, and then I'm going to take the pen tool and draw the top, which is 1, and I'm going to click and drag there. I'm going to make sure it closes, and I'm just going to readjust that and get that like redder. So you can just adjust that color. That's too orangey. There you go. And then I can just delete that. Now I have a perfect match. You know, where'd it go? And I got a matchstick. Let's try, I said fire hydrant before, didn't I? Like, I don't know. I have a picture in my head what a fire hydrant looks like, but I don't know the proportions. So why guess when you can just find one and copy it? Let's do this yellow one, right? Save image as, desktop. So I want 3 little illustrated images that you create, not somebody else, not the internet. And I'll check that they're vector. I'm going to check your work. And then we go to edit, or on a file, place. Let's get that hydrant. Can it do it? And for this, break it down into shapes. You know, you got circles, you got rectangles, and you got hexagons, pentagon. You know, I got a circle here. And then you can move things back and forth as well. Like once you start rolling, this is a rectangle. Down below is an oval. Like this is basically an oval. And if I move that up, and I make another oval, and I just kind of connect them to make that base. So if I take this plus this, and I join them with that shape builder tool, I can go in and I can actually delete that point, all the points in there. I'm looking for that minus to show up. I got that big chunky thing. So that was just too old. And this is all I'm doing. Just trace on top of something. And then that way, it's that much closer than to being correct. If you use the pen tool, you can come in and like be really accurate. The pen tool is amazing. And it's all about practice. So again, start with some ideas. There you go. You know, like people are going to understand that once that's like completed, that like, oh, that's a representation of a fire hydrant. And you just copied it. You didn't make up one in your own where it looks a little off, or it's like, you know, ends up being really tall and skinny. Like just find the image you want, trace on top of it. Start to get used to doing that. And that's very similar to this idea, where kind of figure out what you want. You can bring this in if you have a drawing and you're like, oh, you can place this into the file as well. So say I had this. This is save file. I can, just like the Bauhaus poster, go to my background, go to file, place, cloud. Place. Yep, place. I'm going to crop it. Edit. And then just resize it. And I don't know, you know, maybe this is helpful to me or whatever when I'm doing the design. I can see how far off I am on my drawing. So a lot of times now I got to squish it to be correct. So if your proportions are way off, it's somewhat off, but at least it's a starting point. And I know, like, okay, cover, it's going to be this. I'm going to have this on this. I'm going to have this here. And then you can just like, oh, well, now that I know I want that, that, and that, I've done all the thinking. I bring this down. I'm going to change the font. I want Times New Roman, size 8, like change that to Times, and then go to 8 point. You can change the size of the font. You know how to do that. Make sure it's in the margins. Got a picture of Ray. Go him down.
Shrink your paragraph a little bit more.
Huh.
You see that widow?
Oh, I see it. Don't you worry about me. That's awesome. Oh, I'm not done resizing yet. So, we get him in there. I'm checking how much room I have. So the text can go all the way. And I'm just going to go up. What if I go to 11? 11's too big. This is really funky. I'm always getting that widow there. So I'm going to take the widow out by hand, which is just simply a couple returns, shift returns called. Soft return. Just knocking some words down. The widow is having one word by itself. Now there's 2 words down there. And there we go. And so there I can start filling it. And then who knows? I may want the background. Oh, here's a hint though. I'll tell everybody this. And I'm sure I'll see it 3 times. All right, for the people who, this is pro tip, because red is going to be a big color in this. So when you do red, black text on red does not read very well. So there's red and there's black. It's not the best to read. So kind of, if your text is very small, don't use red. You can change the text. Let's do white. White will look better. But yeah, don't just do everything black text just because that's what you're used to. Look at that white pop. Now I can read that. I couldn't read the black. So make sure that, if it's a big, bold black, font for the title, sure, that can be unread. But if you're dealing with like little stuff, make sure that it's white or a very light color, cream. So, but yeah, the main part is just to kind of like, these are like those little type challenges I give you where like, okay, I have a certain area, make sure the type looks good, it's correct. Use the same font throughout, except for the title. The title can be fun. And then the title is like, it's 2 of the, the book cover things I have you do and 1 challenge. And then some small illustrations that help bring the story together for the cover. Is there any questions, comments, or concerns about the dust jacket project?
I can't think of none right now, but if they come to me,
all right,
I'll just message you.
Sounds good. All righty. Well, again, yeah, if you do have questions, comments, or concerns, please just let me know. I'm around all the time. You send me messages. You know how to get a hold of me. I will answer them. Have some fun. Again, look at resources. Use the internet to your advantage here. Look around. Look at, dust jackets. Find like cool ones for inspiration. See what's going on out there. You don't have to do anything like that crazy. Not expecting that. But, sometimes very simple. Like look at, like, oh, I like how they did the typography on this one. You can try to emulate that. Like, don't be afraid to, or look around. Like, here's a cute little, like, oh, here, look at how they did a little match in a flame. Like, oh, I like that. Well, copy that. Use that for yourself. Don't just think you have to do it all on your own. So do research, look around. Look at that. Look at that. It's a book and a book of matches. Whoa. Crazy. So there you go. Oh, here's another. Look at that. Look at that one. So when you open that the flap, it matches on the flap. Oh, that's a great idea right there. Too bad we have too much text going there. Whatever. So dig around, look at other books too. Like look for inspiration from other books as well. So have some fun, dig around. I know you can do it. You got a week on it. And yeah, there you go. Again, if you have questions, just let me know. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.